Okay, I hope everyone can hear and see me. This meeting, well, first, welcome. Welcome to the Executive Board Interest Meeting. Obviously, you being here shows that you're already interested in being a part of our e-board, which is very good and very important because the e-board really helps move the organization forward. This meeting is going to be recorded. Also, I just wanted to remind y'all that this meeting isn't mandatory. So for the people watching the recording, if you couldn't come, that's completely okay. It's just an information meeting. And if you have any questions or anything throughout the presentation, feel free to stop me. Sorry, at any time. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So today, I will be going over all of the available positions, a brief description of each position and, the expected duties. I'm also going to give y'all a brief tutorial on how to access the application, and I'm also going to go over the application requirements. So these are all the roles you can apply for: president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, SNT coordinator, publicity chair, fundraising chair, IT coordinator, society events chair, community service, membership outreach, social events, professional development, and LTD chair. So luckily, you can apply for as many positions as you want to, and all at once. You don't have to apply for each individual position. It's just one general application for all the positions you want to apply for. I'm going to show you that a little bit later. And I really suggest applying for a handful of positions that you're interested in applying for. Also in positions that you're afraid of applying for. So if you are afraid to apply for like vice president, for example, because you're not a good public speaker or whatever, then I suggest that you apply for it, try it, and go for the opportunity, because being in these positions really does, it not only looks good on your resume, obviously, but it does expose you to a whole another level of leadership, more of on the technical side though. So I really suggest that you take that into consideration. And once again, throughout the presentation, if you have any questions about any of these positions, just feel free to stop and ask me. Okay, so the president. So the president, yes, they're like that guy, but there's a lot of work that is to be done with the president. So with NSLS, the president role is kind of like a part-time job. You do get paid for it, but that comes with a lot of responsibilities. You have to attend multiple bi-weekly meetings with the chapter support manager, which is Lily Gonzalez for us. You have to meet with our advisors. You have to plan a whole bunch of meetings, and you have to delegate. It's all about delegating and communication. So if you're good at that, or if you're interested in challenging yourself in that regard and getting better at that, then by all means apply for the president position. But in addition to attending our NSLS meetings, you also have to attend COP meetings, and those happen once a month, every first Wednesday of the month. And that is mandatory. You have to, the president and vice president both have to attend that meeting. So, and it's the first Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. and there's no excuses. Like no excuses at all, like not even class. Like you're expected to like plan your schedule accordingly so you can attend the COP meeting. So also keep that in mind. And the vice president role, you're probably going to look at this the same way I did. Not going to lie, you're probably going to be like, that 2 bullet points that's easy as hell, that's going to look good on my resume, yada yada yada. But the vice president is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. You really have to keep the momentum of the organization going, because like at the end of the semester where like our work picks up, but like school work slows down, like, you know, certain parts of the executive board can, start to, kind of get comfortable in their role and not keep, keep the momentum going. So you as the vice president really have to make sure people are getting done everything that they need to get done, like seriously. And wherever the president can't, pick up, you're expected to just be there to intervene. And whatever meetings the president can attend, you have to attend. Like, unless it's like a family emergency, if the president's not there, you're there to step up. So does anyone have any questions so far? Okay. All right, so the secretary, their job is to record the minutes at all the board, executive board meetings. We're required to have bi-weekly executive board meetings. And, during these meetings, it's a lot of planning, a lot of communication. Okay, fundraisers, community service events, that sort of type of thing. So the secretary really needs to be keeping track of everything, not everything that's said, but all of the main important aspects of that meeting so we can carry it out, whatever ideas we have, it needs to be set forth. They're also in charge of our email. So responding to people, whatever emails we get, the secretary is in charge of that. The treasurer, that's our money man, so, or woman, or whoever, but the treasurer is going to be in charge of the bank account. So communicating with our advisor, because you do need to communicate with the advisor in order to set up our bank account, because we can use that money that we have access to for like induction ceremonies or for like game nights or, any social events we really want to have. So that's what the treasurer is going to do. Next is the membership chair. So the membership chair for this year, we had Kiana Harris, and she did a really good job in making sure we had orientations, keeping track of our membership numbers, making sure our members are completing their steps towards induction. The membership chair also plans out our induction as well. So sometimes the membership chair won't be as active in some parts of the semester as others, but that's honestly all on how you plan out your semester. So like all other roles on the executive board, you really have to take time to look at your entire semester and be like, okay, on this day, I'm going to start planning induction and I need to have induction finished planned by this time. Like, that's just an example. So you just have to really keep that in perspective. So the speaker broadcast chair is in charge of hosting, our speaker broadcasts. So this year, unfortunately, we didn't have any in-person speaker broadcast chairs, but since things are going to be completely back to normal fall semester, we're most likely going to have all our, if not all, most of our events in person. So one of those being speaker broadcast chair, or speaker broadcast, excuse me. Next is LTD. So LTD is Leadership Training Day. So the LTD chair is really just in charge of planning the LTD. Really, the LTD is supposed to be like an all-day in-person, kind of like a boot camp, but obviously because of COVID, that it didn't really work out that way. So now it's just like a couple of hours at most, and it's really supposed to be prepping them for SNTs, kind of hyping people up. That's what LTDs is supposed to be, just hyping people up. So if you have that type of energy and you can hype people up, then the LTD chair position is one you should really apply for. During the summer, when we have our executive board training meetings, we will cover LTDs, and we will have our previous LTD chair, not from this year, but the year before last, she really had a passion for this, and she's going to be, just a co-mentor, if you will, for our LTD chair for this summer's training session. Next is our social media chair. So they're in charge of publicity. They're like our PR manager is how I like to think of it. So just advertising NSLS, just getting our name out there to not only the school, but also in the community. Implementing new ideas like newsletters and, et cetera, things of that nature. So if you're good at social media editing, then definitely apply for this position. Me personally, it takes me an hour to make an Instagram post. I feel like that's a long time. So I personally, I love doing that, but I would still apply for it, but I guess it just takes practice. So if you're better at that than me, then definitely apply for this. Next is the IT coordinator. So whenever we have in-person events, the IT coordinator is going to be setting up like the projector, making sure we have the right cords, making sure, all of our equipment works, our laptops are fully charged, we have iPads in the right places, et cetera, et cetera. So if that's what you're into, even like DJing, I suggest that you apply for IT coordinator, because this job can be as detailed as you want it to, which is why I really love the executive board positions of NSLS. Moving on, we have community service chair. So they're in charge of planning our community service. Every member is required to have at least one community service event per year. Asterisk, don't quote me on that, under their belt. So that's why we have our community service chair. We also have our professional development chair. This year we had Olivia, and she was in charge of doing our mock interviews. So stuff like that, just really refining any professional development skills. Does anyone have any questions so far? Am I going too fast?
No, you're good.
Okay. All right, so next I am gonna go over I'm gonna give a tutorial on how to access the application. So first you go to nsls.org, click sign in. And you would put your username and stuff. So you're not gonna see this because this is like the leadership dashboard, but give me 1 second. Okay, so this is what you're gonna see when you log in. And you're gonna click on, give me a second. I have not seen this in such a long time. Okay, you're gonna click on my chapter, and then you're gonna click on apply for position. And then all of your information that you put in previously when you first signed up for NSLS is gonna be automatically generated here. And then you can select which positions you want to apply for. If you want to apply for all of them, go ahead and apply for all of them. If you're not sure, click on sure. If you have another, I'm sorry. I thought I got a chat because I'm using this LED light thing and it's like covering the top of the screen. But anyway, so yeah, these answers, 4-sentence minimum is what I'm gonna say. At least 4 sentences long, nothing super deep. It doesn't have to be like an essay. It can be just 4 sentences and that's it. As long as you get your point across, just try to be as direct and just try to answer the question just as is, but still be thorough and still kind of show us your personality a little bit. Except for why did you originally become a, okay, so yeah, for instances, why do you want to hold this position? What qualities and experiences, you know? And then, yeah, that's all you really have to do and submit. We do ask after you submit to email us your headshot so we can post you on our Instagram page. And also, yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions about how to access it? Alrighty. All right, so what are the requirements to join the e-board? So you do have to be inducted, but if you will be inducted by April, if you're gonna be inducted like this year, you can still apply to be a part of the e-board. You do have to be in good standing with A&T. And if you're applying for the president and the vice president position, in addition to sending us your headshot, you also need to send just no longer than 2-minute video, just saying who you are, why you want to apply for this position, and what is the future for you in this organization, really. Where do you want to take this organization? All right, if you haven't already, download the NSLS app. That's how you can keep track of your induction process, and you can easily send messages in the messaging system from there too. So yeah, because we'll be in contact with you via that system. All right, if you have any questions or any concerns about anything, you can email me at jehunter@aggies.ncat.edu, or you can send an email at ncatnsls@gmail.com. That's also where you're going to send your headshots and your video responses if you're applying for vice president or president. If you have any questions for the advisor, our advisor is Tiffany C. Wright, and that's her email there. But that's it, unless anyone has any questions or anything, or wants me to go back over anything.
So there was the option to go unsure as one of the positions. What would you be considered for by then if you selected?
So if you selected unsure, then we will follow. If we really like your responses, we're going to follow up with you, and we're going to tell you what positions we do have open and kind of figure out what your interest is and, you know, go from there.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I have a question. I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but is it like people vote for you, or you guys choose who is qualified?
Oh, yes, I did forget to mention that. So the election process. So the application is due April 12th, which is, I don't want to lie to y'all, so give me 1 second. I think it's Tuesday. April 12th is Tuesday, so it's due by then at 11:59. So on the 13th, we're gonna post the video responses and send out the results via Google Docs. So the members are gonna vote. So yes, the members are voting, and it's based upon that. We're not choosing anyone.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So does anyone else have any questions? And feel free to like campaign on your Instagram pages and stuff. If you want, when you send us your video responses or your headshots, you can send us your Instagram handle too, so we can tag you. All right, if there's no other questions, I guess I can end.
I have a question for you, Jaya, but that's after the meeting.
Okay, no problem. All right,
All right, thank you.
No problem. Have a good day.
Thank you.